Hello, my name is Corbin Flannery. I'm the Director of e-business here at the Granite Group, coming to you virtually from our Narragansett location. I wanted to talk to you today about product price and availability in our My Granite Access online store. As you can see, I'm here on our online store website, and we have provided access to our complete product catalog here in the various sections. You'll see we have on the home page icons for our plumbing, heating and cooling, pipe valves and fittings, oil and propane, and so forth. Those are also available up here on the main navigation underneath products. I'd like to note that the product catalog here on the online store is actually available to anybody who comes to the site. The reason for that is that, say that you're a contractor working with a homeowner, you're doing a kitchen remodel, that homeowner could actually come to the site, see the products and shop products. They would not see price, they would not see availability. Price and availability is only available to Granite Group customers that have a Granite Group account that has been activated for online access, that have users assigned to that account so that they can view price and availability. Again, you need to be signed in to see price and availability, but anybody can come and see the products in the catalog for the reasons I just showed you. So for example, if a homeowner was coming and was looking for a kitchen faucet, they could type in kitchen faucet, and you'll notice that it's doing this auto suggest here. This is to really, the system is looking at what you're typing and trying to find a best match. This would come in really handy if you were searching for an actual part number. So if I was searching for that D2400LF, you'll notice that the auto suggest is really handy for that. When I start typing D240, it's doing the auto suggest. And even before I get to the LF, it said, well, this is the closest thing to that. Do you want to select that? I would actually have to hit enter or search to initiate, hit enter or click this search icon to initiate that search. And I'll do that now by, again, typing kitchen faucet and hitting enter. So now I'm getting the search results. You'll see that it found 1,834 items for the search term kitchen faucet. It's displaying them by best match, so based on the search term, but it can also display based on product code, either ascending or descending. I'm displaying 32 items per page, and I'm displaying them in a grid view. I could also display them more in a list view. And then I'm displaying page 1 of 58. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll see the filtering. So I could search within these. So say I wanted to bronze, I could type bronze in here, search for that, and it's going to search these items, just these items, 1,834 items for the term bronze. You'll also notice that we have all these attributes you can search for. Best practice for me says, if I would tell you that if you're searching for something like kitchen faucets, which is more like a category, I would always filter on categories. So there's more items here than just kitchen faucets, because the term kitchen faucet is in these other products, so they're showing up in the search results. But if I know I'm searching for kitchen faucets, I would then just go and choose that category. And I've now narrowed the search from 1,800 products to about 1,600 products. And then you'll see all these additional product attributes over here that I can filter by. So I could filter on color, I can filter on number of holes, handles, and so forth, manufacturer, all these great attributes. That's another good reason to, if you're searching in a category, to choose a category, because now you've eliminated any of these attributes that are not relevant to kitchen faucets. And you'll notice here on the left, here's the product description. Here's the Granite Group model number, the manufacturer's model number, and then some of those attributes that you've seen, as well as the picture. You'll notice here it says price not available, and also it says please sign in to see price and availability. As I mentioned, you have to be signed in to see price and availability, and to sign in, you need to have a Granite Group account, and you need to have activated that Granite Group account for online access. So I'm going to sign in now to show you that. Go to the top of the page, click the sign in button. Here's where I would enter my username and password. If I forgot my password, I can click the forgot password. enter my username in, and it will send me a password reset email. If you have not activated your Granite Group account for online access yet, you could click this link here. It will take you to a form, provide some information about your company, an email address, a name, and then we will set that email address up, excuse me, as the administrator on that account. So it would go to our regional directors. They would verify that you are who you say you are and that you should have access to the account. And then our AR department would set that account up for you, or that user up for you as an administrator, who could then set up additional users. If you are not a Granite Group customer, you can click on this link and either complete our request for credit account, which is an account where you would be invoiced. You need to get approved and invoiced, and then you could submit orders to be invoiced, or you can set up a COD account, which basically you pay by either cash or credit at time of delivery. So I'm going to sign in here as our sample customer. And then I'm going to a page where I would choose my bill to and my ship to. I only have one bill to for this account, but if you had multiple accounts, this is where you would choose it. And then you can choose a ship to as well. I'm just going to choose use billing address and click continue. Now you'll notice at the top, I'm signed in, so it's displaying my username. I can sign out, and it's also displaying the location that I'm shopping. So as I mentioned, I'm here virtually at our Narragansett branch. I could change that to say our Rochester, New Hampshire branch, and the system would remember that for the next time you signed in. But I do want to just stay on the Narragansett branch to continue this demonstration. So down here now we'll see, I'm seeing my actual price. This is your price. This is real-time pricing. Price and availability are real-time for us. We, unlike other systems, we don't batch update our e-commerce site with availability and pricing. It's the reverse of that. Our e-commerce system actually reaches back to our back-end system and says, hey, for this customer, for this branch, for this item, these items, what's the price and what's the availability? So now you see this is my actual pricing, and here it's showing the total in the company as well as the total in Narragansett. And if I was looking for this item here, I see that there's 191 in the company, but there are none in Narragansett. I could click in here to the product detail page. This is where, again, I see the product description, the Granite Group code, the manufacturer's code. You can even have your own part numbers here. So I created a part number for this called My Faucet. You can edit that and create your own part numbers here. So if you have a back-end system and you do have your own part numbers, you can enter them here so that the next time, if you are searching, just like that example of the auto suggest, when looking for Granite Group part numbers, it would work on that the same way with your part numbers. That does take an overnight process to index those. So if you did enter them or edit them, the next day they would be available for you. And another benefit of that is we put these part numbers in the back-end system as well, and they will print on your pick tickets or invoices. So if you do need to match up your invoices, your Granite Group invoices with your own invoices, you can do that easily with your own part numbers here. So again, you'll see your price, total availability in the company, none in Narragansett. But if I look down here, I can see where that availability is, which locations actually have this item in stock. So I can see that there's some in Old Saybrook. Maybe I could take a quick jaunt down to Old Saybrook to pick that up, or if it was in Lincoln, I could go up to Lincoln to grab that. One thing to note here is that this BR01 Londonderry on the go, that's our central distribution, and they have 94. We do send trucks from central distribution to the branches every day. So if an item isn't in stock here, as long as it's ordered in time, you would see that the next day. So it's only one day away if it's here in our Londonderry location. Another thing I'd like to point out is all this great product data over here. So it has flow rate, number of holes, spout dimension. We have a dedicated product data department that works on this data constantly. That's their job. Not every product on the site is going to have a picture and all this rich data, but I would say the majority of items do now, and they are working on full completeness as a goal by the end of the year. So they've really stepped up their game in this department. They're really working hard at that, and I think the results are actually showing, and it's pretty impressive. So So you'll notice all this great product data here, as well as up here, here's some of those filter values for this item. We also have this tab here for documents. So there's installation sheets and specification sheets. So if I click on this, it's going to bring me to a page with the specification sheet as a PDF. So if you needed that document, it's right here, as well as the installation guide. We have 4 types of documents currently: installation guides, spec sheets, MSDF sheets, and sell sheets. So if a product has those, if those are provided to us, we'll have those up here on our website. There's also a specifications tab with some more detail about the product, and a feedback tab that will provide a place where you could provide feedback about this page. Up here, you'll see this button here that says share. This is a nice feature. Again, back to that homeowner example. If you were doing a kitchen remodel for a homeowner, you could say, hey, you can go to the Granite Group site and you can shop their kitchen faucets and just let me know, share that item with me, and they can hit the share button. It's going to provide them a form where they enter your name, your email address, their name and email address, and your name, and a message, hey, we're really like this faucet, and they could share that with you. And vice versa, you could share that with the customer. So you could be on this page, you can share this to the customer. And what it's going to do is send them an email with a picture of the product description, and a link to this page. Now, if you were to share this with the customer and they click on the link, they're going to come to this page, but they're not going to see price and they're not going to see availability because they're not signed in. This page is the same whether you're signed in or not, with the difference that if you're signed in, it knows your Granite Group account and it can go get pricing for you. If you're not signed in, it can't go get pricing and it wouldn't show it, and there's no indication that it's not showing it, except it says sign in to see price and availability. You have to have a Granite Group account to see price and availability. So no fear that a homeowner is going to see your pricing. So that's that share feature right here, which can be really beneficial. Another thing I'd like to show you is, well, basically a methodology. So not only can you search for items, but you also have the ability to navigate to items based on our hierarchy. And that can come really in handy, You can also see over here, you can navigate to the cut. Another feature I'd like to show you is the ability to navigate to items. So over here in our products, you can see the various product categories, and I can drill down into products rather than doing a search. And I think that comes in really handy for commodity items that don't have a lot of differentiation except their size and the type of material. And in those cases, a lot of that material, everybody calls everything something different in this industry. It's kind of unique like that, and which makes it difficult to index properly on things. The other thing relative to commodities is a lot of it's based on size, and that could be different based on how you enter those sizes. One thing to note is the inch or the quote that's used for inch. Those are actually ignored because it's irrelevant to the search, but some things that aren't ignored are like spaces. So if I was to enter, say, a ½ inch by 3/4, and I'm looking for maybe a reducer or something, you're going to see it's doing the auto suggest, it's finding these items. But if I put a space in here, you're going to see that the results are different. And that's because the data comes to us from all these different sources. We are normalizing this data so that we will be taking out spaces or putting spaces in so that the data is consistent in terms of this. But this data comes from various different sources. It's a big job, and it's not always going to be perfect. So that's why I suggest you should navigate to those items instead. So if I'm looking for a fitting, say this 1.5 by 1.5 by 3/4 copper T, I would navigate to that item by choosing products, pipe valves and fittings, copper fittings, and now I'm on that product detail page within the category, and I can use the filters to find what I'm looking for. So I could filter by size, I can filter by connection type, by fitting type. So remember, I'm looking for a T, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to select T. So just to note, there are 1,200 plus items here. If I search for T, I've now narrowed that search down to just the T's. I'm looking for copper, not brass, so I can filter by that as well. And now I've actually narrowed down my sizes, and that's why I suggested doing fitting type first, because before you filter on fitting type, you're going to get all the sizes for all the different fittings, not just T's. Say I was looking for that 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. I think it was a 1.5 by 1.5. 3/4. So I click on that. Here's 2 items. So now I've narrowed my search down pretty quickly to these 2 items without having to be frustrated by what I was entering in search and not being able to find it. So I think that's a good example of how the product data and the filtering do a good job of bringing you to the product. Search can do the same thing, but you're adding that extra step in there where I could search for something. Maybe I'm not getting all the results I want because some of these aren't the same as I'm searching up here. I could filter on the category of copper fittings and then get the attributes, but I think it's just as quick to navigate to the item to get there. Something else I wanted to show you here is available in the online store that's a nice feature is our optional items. So say I'm looking for a mini split system. I'm just going to type the word mini split. And notice it's doing that product search. It's finding stands and brackets and so forth. That's because the word mini split is in there and it's indexed on that. It should find those. But what I'm going to do is hit enter. And as I mentioned earlier, under the best practices, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to look for my category. Oh, there it is, mini split systems. And I'm going to select that. And now I'm just looking at mini split systems. I could then filter on these other attributes like number of cooling BTUs and so forth. A lot of great product data here. But what I wanted to show you was our optional product. So if I click into this item, this is the heat pump, and I need other items to complete this job. Those are listed down here under the optional product. So say I was going to order this product, I would add this to cart. And then I would come down here, and without having to leave this page, I could get the stand, I can get the disconnect, I can get the whip, and so forth. And there's more here than what you need. So there's 2 stands because there's 2 types of stands. There's, pads, and there's a stand as well. So you're not going to probably install the pad and the stand. But everything you need here, more than what you need, is here available for easy ordering. So adding the main unit and then grabbing all these accessories that are needed to do that job are here. We also display recently viewed items down here as well. So if you're constantly going after the same thing, you'll see that here in the recently viewed. So that's it for products, price, and availability on our online store. I hope you found this informative, and I hope you find some value in using our online store to make your job easier. Thank you, and have a great day.